I'm going to share my screen. All right, I think we're ready to go. So we are going to be doing this simultaneously. As you can see, it's the same schedule for third and fourth period. You'll notice that the schedule, if you look at your landing page, has changed for fifth and sixth period. Fifth and sixth period now starts at 11:30 because we did have worked in kind of a lunch from 11 to 12, but now people are in the building, so we have a lunch that is going to run during your fifth and sixth period, and it depends on your fifth or sixth period teacher. But just to give you a heads up, you'll go to class right after this class, okay? So this class still runs 10 to 11:30. So for today, we are going to be kind of reminder up here, no matter if you are in Group A or Group B schedule, you will log into and join us from the Google Meet linked above. So everybody that's here, you know what you're doing. So today we're going to start a new No Red Ink lesson. Now last week before fall break, we really took No Red Ink slow, and I'll let y'all get used to it. The way we're doing No Red Ink now, we're doing about half as much as we did last week, and we're going to be working on a project while also working on No Red Ink. And let's talk about what that looks like. So the first thing we do on Monday, whenever we have No Red Ink, is we take the unit diagnostic. Now here's the deal. The unit diagnostic is not a grade, okay? You do not have to worry about if you do bad on that. All that tells us is if you know it or not, if you need to do the practice or not. So if you look at the title, like it's commas for formatting and positives, and you're sitting there going, I have no idea how to do that. Now, y'all have heard of commas. You know commas, so you might go, okay, I know commas. Might not have heard of positives. So you need to kind of maybe let's take this diagnostic, see how much I know, okay? If you sit there and you're like, I don't want to do the diagnostic because I don't know what it is, I just want to hit the practice. I want to go ahead and do the practice. That's fine. You can skip the diagnostic. The diagnostic is there for you to test out if you're like, I got this, I don't need to take time on doing that, okay? I encourage everybody to take it, but if you're just like, I want to get right to the practices because I want to do it, that's fine. Now, here's the deal. If you get a 90 or above, 90, 95, or 100 on the diagnostic, you automatically get credit for the practice because you've shown me in a practice quiz that you know the information. So I'll give you 100 on the practice. Now, if you don't take the diagnostic and you don't do the practice, you'll get a 0 on the practice. Okay, so you need to do the practice if you don't take the diagnostic. Only if you get a 90, 95, or 100, 90 or above, can you not take and do the practice, okay? So there's two different assignments in No Red Ink that you'll see. One is the diagnostic and one is the practice, okay? I encourage everybody to go ahead and take the practice or the diagnostic, but if you can't or if you don't want to, you can go ahead and start the practice. Now, here's the deal with the practice. You will have the first beginning time of class. Probably the first like 15 to 20 minutes will be scheduled for No Red Ink practice. And the No Red Ink tells us that this practice should take you about 80 minutes, okay? So if you do 20 minutes on Monday, 20 minutes on Tuesday, 20 minutes on Wednesday, 20 minutes on Thursday, you should have plenty of time to do the practice, okay? So that's why I'm going to give you about 15 to 20 minutes, depending on the day, to do the practice. You can also do it as homework or when you finish an assignment. You can go back and work on it until you get it done. Now, if you finish No Red Ink or you get a 90 or better, I'm going to have other options for you. So let's talk about those. So if you finish early, you can find something to read. You can go to a news website and look at the news. I'll link News in 10. It's a news website that does daily news in 10 minutes. Or you can find a different news station, or you can work on other assignments. But there are no YouTube or games or just chilling or taking a nap. There's nothing like that. If you're caught up, you can work on other things that has to do within the social studies world or the English world, like reading or news or working on other assignments, okay? So you will do the No Red Ink practice after you're done with the diagnostic every single day. After you are done with the No Red Ink practice, on Friday, you will have a quiz, just like we did last week, okay, or the week before before fall break. So you will take a quiz over this information. So you need to have your practices done by that Thursday, okay? And if you know that you need more time, you're allowed to take more time throughout the week, meaning you can do this as homework. You can do this during your study halls if you have that. So there is no excuse to say, Miss Richard, I'm not done by Thursday, unless you're sick or you have like excused absences. Talk to me, we'll figure it out. You can do that. So you have to keep up with that. Any questions? Are you on Go Guardian, Miss? Okay. Any questions on Go Guardian or in the class? Any questions over No Reading? Yes.
You said Miss Richard.
I said Miss Richard?
Yeah.
Mr. Richard. Miss Richard is my wife. Yes. 2 questions. Okay, good. Okay, let me address the first question. The first question was, I am done with No Reading. I had a study hall or something, first period. I had a student in here that said, I looked at your agenda. I love that initiative. I love that agency of saying, let's go ahead and knock out what I need to get done. So if you either did really well on the diagnostic or you have finished in the practices already, like a student has, then you will take advantage of either the free reading time, and if you're in my class, there are books back here, or you can find a book online, or you can find a news website and look at what's going on current times, okay? But no games, no videos, just chilling, no sleeping, things like that. You know how you should behave. You're in school. You've done this before. Any other questions? The computer we'll get to in just a second, okay? Okay, so we know the No Red Ink. Everyone should be able to sign in. I know there is a student that has not signed in. And if you're not signed in yet, you need to go back and look at the agenda. It is from, I'll give you the date right here. So go back to 9/28/2020. If you have not signed in, follow this instructions. Get signed into No Red Ink. So 9/28/2020. I'm talking to you if you haven't signed in. There's one out there that hadn't signed in. And you're on your distance learning right now. You're not in my classroom. So let's talk about the other thing we're doing so I can let the distance learners go ahead and get to work on all of this. So the next thing after you've done the No Red Ink diagnostic and the No Red Ink practice, then you're going to move on to the entry document assignment, okay? So this is the civilization and creation and character creation project. We're going to move on to that. But let's take time right now to go ahead and do the No Red Ink. So log in, do the diagnostic. I've talked for a while, so I'm going to give us until 10:30. So about 18 minutes to work on that. So get logged in and take about, so at 10:30 we will go back and move on to the next thing. All right, so that was about 18, almost 20 minutes. Here's what I'm going to say in addressing online students and, make sure I'm not muted. Yeah, I'm good. Addressing online students and the class. If you are still working on the diagnostic, you are taking too long on the diagnostic. The diagnostic is quick answers, because if you're not able to go through it and go, I know this, you already are going, I need to do the practice. So I was walking around, I was giving you the chance to try, but I'm walking around and seeing some of your screens and looking on Go Guardian. Some of you all are still on question like 7 or 8 right there. Knowing it's taking that long, we should move on to the practice, okay? So at this point, if you have not finished the diagnostic, you should be on the practice, okay? So don't finish the diagnostic, just go out. Again, it's not a grade, okay? It's just for you to measure your understanding. So you can go ahead and skip right to the practice at this point if you are not done with the diagnostic. If you got a 90 or better, you're good. I'm going to give you 5 more minutes on the practice because I want everyone to get the ground, kind of hit the ground running with the practice. Now, here's what I'll point out. If you go back down to your, and I've got all these open. If you go down to your projects, and you go down to the bottom, there's the No Red Ink folder. In that No Red Ink folder, you'll see notes, commas for formatting and positives, and that will take you, when you click on everything, it'll take you to this. Just like the last time, I have all the notes ready for you, identifying positives, putting commas in with the positives, dates with commas, so on and so forth, okay? So you should now be working on, for the next 5 minutes, your your commas practice, okay? We are not doing the diagnostic anymore if you're not done. So take 5 minutes and do the practice. Am I recording here? So we will have more time throughout the week. So right now we're going to head back over to Echo. So everybody should log out of No Red Ink. I mean, you can keep it open if you want, but shouldn't be working on it. Head over to Echo, and we're going to do our last thing on our agenda today is the entry document assignment, civilization, and character creation project. We're starting a new project today. So if you are at home, in the class, we're doing this online still. If you are in the class today, I do have copies available to you. If you prefer to work on hard copy paper, you want to use a pencil. So those are available to you. Anybody want those? They're right up here if you do it. I would prefer paper, definitely. Well, if you're on distance learning, go ahead and open up your computer and go to that document. Now, if I'm giving you a hard copy, you are still going to go into the assignment. Yeah. Anybody else? I saw hands over here. Yeah. Anybody else? Okay. Now, if you want, no, okay. You want one, so mine, walk up and grab one real quick. So, I have those available to you all whenever here on Thursday as well if you prefer to have a hard copy. So, what we're going to do right now is we are going to read our entry document, which looking online, I can go to this in our class as well. So, there is a new project called Civilization and Character Creation Project. And the only thing in that folder that you can see is the entry document assignment. So let's open that up. We have done one of these assignments. We've done this twice. This is now the third time. This is an agency grade and a knowledge and thinking grade. Okay? So it's really important that you get this done and you do it right because I am testing your understanding of project-based learning, the little bit that we've done. Okay? Because of distance learning, we haven't really jumped into it big time. But this is going to dive in more and more. Okay? So you've done this before, but for this assignment, you will be reading and annotating the template available above in the Dropbox or available below, depending on. So I can see it right down here, the template. You guys have done this before. Knows are things, just as a reminder, knows are things in the project that you already know and don't need to figure out. Okay, so you're going to highlight that in green. Need to knows are in red, and these are things in a project that you have questions about and need to do research about, think about, or question. Okay, so you are going to highlight that in red. Okay, so on the Google Doc, you will read and highlight knows and need to knows, highlight them in different colors. If you're doing it hard copy, you're going to circle need to knows. I'll write this up here. So need to knows. NTK is need to know. You're going to circle that. And if it's a no, you're going to underline it. Okay? Now you can still open the template and write your knows and need to knows in the template, but you're just going to do circling knows and need to knows on the hard copy, take a picture of it and put it in. Okay? So, and then on the second page of the Google Doc, you will write out your knows and what you already know and the need to knows, okay? And these are questions concerning it. So you're basically going to just write questions. So we go down here and view the template. We should have already opened that up. Remember, once you open the template, go ahead and hit submit, okay? Even if you're not done with the assignment for my class, go ahead and hit submit because Google Docs, you can go back and edit them, okay? So, for this, right at the beginning of the project, remember the entry document is kind of our mission, okay, our objective, what we're being given, okay? And for this project, we have worked, and it's still opening on my computer, the image, but we have worked with Big Bang, Toys, Comics, Games the last 2 years, okay? So this is our third year getting to work with them. Now, it's a little different this year because they're not able to actually come in and talk to us because of distance learning and Corona, all that stuff. But we're still going to do a project for them, okay? So let's read what our objective is for them. So I'm going to read out loud, then I'm going to give you all time to individually work highlighting your knows and need to knows. So, students of Owensboro Innovation Academy, we at Big Bang Toys, Comics, and Games are excited to be your next community partner. Our business provides and sells collectibles covering the entire spectrum of toys, RPGs, books, gaming, board games, t-shirts, DVDs, Blu-rays, video games, and much more. The success of our business is dependent on the quality of our products and the intriguing nature of entertainment we can provide. Our store also offers an opportunity to purchase comic books and graphic novels. We have a wide variety of comics/graphic novels to choose from. However, we are interested in exploring the possibility of new heroes. Okay? While many of our comics are based on completely fictional stories, we would like to examine factual historical events and develop new adventures. This is why we need your help. We would like you to create a hero character that can be represented in a historically, factually inspired comic book/graphic novel. So, kind of ding, 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 what we're doing for this project. To accomplish this task, you will need to familiarize yourself with the historical fiction that examines ancient society. You will then need to examine ancient civilizations, examine historically inspired heroes from literature, in parentheses, the Odyssey, research and present what made them remarkable. Your research should include all of the following: geography, religion, government, a map, historically inspired literature. You will use your research to develop a profile of a character that could be made into a historically inspired comic book or graphic novel. Your character may be fictional, but should be based on historical fact. Your character's profile and information should be linked to geography, religion, and government. I'm excited to see what you can come up with. Big Bang Comics and Games. So, you're going to read back through this, and you are going to highlight for your knows and need to knows. From looking at this, from what I've seen and what I did, there are tons of knows, okay? Tons of things that right from the first two paragraphs, you're like, these are things we know, like who our community partner is, what they do, what they're looking for, okay? And then from kind of middle of paragraph 2 through paragraph 3, the bullets, and the last paragraph, there are a bunch of need to knows. So we're looking for about 8 knows and need to knows. So I didn't put it on there for you, but on that next page, I want you to go down to the next page and start bulleting. And I apologize, I should have put them on there. I didn't. That's okay. And you're going to put your knows here, and then list those out. And then you can put your need to knows below that. You can list those out. Okay? So that's kind of what it should look like with your list of knows and need to knows. I would say I would shoot for about 8 knows and 8 need to knows to start and see where we can go from there. So I'm going to give you all, let's say, about 15 minutes to work on your knows and need to knows list, and then we'll go from there. If you are good to go, you understand what you're doing. If you're distance learning, you can hop off of the Google Meet and get that assignment completed. I will continue to be on here if you have questions. Ms. Stockdale will be on GoGuardian if you have questions, so do not hesitate to let us know. Otherwise, you are dismissed from online work, and just to finish this assignment and get it turned in today. If you get done early before 11:30, you are welcome to continue to work on No Red Ink. Thank you.